So how'd the 6.8 Western do with the 110 grain varmint load? Well, let's see, what is that? I mean, that's probably a 1/4 inch, maybe a little over it, 1/2 inch at 100 yards off of a bipod. I've got 4 different groups here, but so this one, I tested 2 different powders and I tested 3 different loads with those 2 different powders. So this one was Winchester 760. And yeah, the velocities on that were 3405 and 386. Now with those, basically here was the different option. Here was the different ones I done. I did 61 grains and 61 and a half grains. And this one was the 61 and a half grains, or 61.5 of Winchester 760. That was the best group. And those were the numbers there. I only read one on this one. This was the 61 grains for Winchester 760. I only got one to read, and it was 3376. But that's still sub MOA, probably 3/4 of an inch or so. So Winchester 760 had the best 2 groups for sure. And yeah, I mean, this is the 110 Hornady vmax. It's a varmint round because it's lead and it's basically meant to rapidly expand is what they say. Yeah, I think it basically explodes. It goes to about 2 or 3 inches and basically what are they? Let me just grab the box and see what it says. Rapid explosive expansion. So yeah, I mean I've watched some videos on it, and that's basically what it does. I mean it would basically go through the skin, get to the vitals, and explode, which is cool. I think some people think, oh, it's going to ruin all the meat. No, it basically gets right inside the cavity, gets to the vitals, and evaporates them. I think this could be an excellent deer round, honestly. Um, so I think I might try it. Might be on the top of the list for deer season for sure, especially with those groups going that speed. So the Stay Ball 6.5 was the other powder I tested, and I got that group, which is a little over an inch. It looks like those squares are an inch, so probably an inch and a quarter. This was at 65 and a half, and 66 grains of Stay Ball 6.5. And that's under, both of these are under the max charge. The max charges are like 66.7. But I had tested the 129 LRX with Stay Ball 6.5, and I got pressure issues with it. But today it's only like 82 degrees, so I'm thinking that it was a temperature thing, because when I tested the LRX, it was like 95 degrees and humid out, and I think that was why I had pressure issues. I think if I did that on a day like this, or during hunting season or something, you wouldn't get those pressure issues at max charge. None of these issues gave me any bolt stick. So there wasn't pressure issues in that regard. I mean, they all cycled perfectly fine. But man, that speed is something, right? And these are all SDs, single digit SDs. I mean, around 20 foot per second difference, basically, with all of them. And this one's sub MOA. This was the 65 grain test, and that one was 34.98, 35.28. So right there, right over 35. So that's probably a winner with stay ball 6.5. This one doesn't really count because it was my first time loading them. I was trying to get the seating depth right and seated them a little bit too deep. So basically, when I got the seating depth right, that was that one, and those other two. That one and that one. Oops. So yeah, those two unfortunately didn't really count. So, but I mean, those are really good numbers anyway. 3,500, pretty much average, a little bit even better with sub MOA with the stay ball 6.5. So 2 different powders and 3 sub MOA loads, Winchester 760 and stay ball 6.5. But yeah, this could be an excellent option for, I mean, especially varmint. This thing's gonna, do extremely well. Oh yeah, here's what I was gonna say. I had calculated the numbers based on 3,500 feet per second, which is pretty much, well, that's what the stay ball 6.5 did. The Winchester 760 would be about 3,400 feet per second. But these are the numbers I had calculated with 3,500 feet per second. I mean, 2,000 foot-pounds of energy at 200 and a 1.8 inch drop, 7.6 inch drop at 300, 1,800 foot-pounds. Still 1,072 foot-pounds at 600 yards. So, I mean, even at 600 yards, this thing's going to get to the vitals and explode. So, definitely like a sheep or a coyote, long distant range, even probably deer. This probably wouldn't be good for anything above deer because, well, I don't know, man. People take elk with like those 110 coppers. And the reason why I really wanted to test this was just to see what it could do. Because man, if you get one of those, like there's 100 grain CX with the Hornady, and then there's the 110 ttsx with Barnes. Both of those are copper. And you get that with that 100 CX, man, you can get that thing zipping at like 3,700 feet per second or so. But you get those things zipping like this with the coppers that penetrate deep and expand. The coppers are more for penetration. This one's just going to explode. The coppers will penetrate. Those coppers would be good for anything. Deer, elk. Because it'll probably just zip right through it, but expand too. So, yeah, it was really about seeing what it would do with the 110 grain. And obviously, it'll do excellent with it, with multiple powders. So, just another, range for the 6.8 Western from 110 grain, even maybe the 100 grain with the CX. I might have to end up trying that. But all the way up to like 175 grain tip Game King, all sub MOAs. So, pretty awesome. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.